So evaluation of argument has two main components. We need to evaluate the truth or reliability of the reasons, including any unstated reasons, and we need to evaluate the reliability of the conclusions and intermediate conclusions, which is just another way of saying, does the argument work as a series of logical moves? If you look at this image, you can see both aspects of evaluating argument, and you can see that it boils down to answering two questions. First question, are the reasons acceptable? Second question, does the main conclusion and any intermediate conclusion or conclusions follow from the reasons given? So let's look at these in turn. Let's start with evaluating reasons. As we said earlier, reasons come in different forms, and so each different kind of reason has to be evaluated in different ways. So it's important to be able to work out what kind of reason is being offered. Some reasons present evidence, facts and data. An example would be a reason stating that, according to official records, 1 in 3 women are likely to be the victims of sexual assault during their lifetime. Some reasons express value judgments. An example would be a reason stating that it's appalling that in the 21st century so many women are still the victims of sexual violence. Some reasons present definitions, criteria or principles. Some reasons present causal explanations, such as a claim that a marked degradation of male sexual attitudes towards women can be directly linked to the widespread and unprecedented availability of pornography on the internet, and so on. This image shows you different kinds of reasons and different kinds of questions you would need to ask in order to evaluate them. Other factors also affect the evaluation of reasons. The degree of certainty claimed requires different levels of proof. The claim that something's certain requires a very high standard of proof, very strong evidence, whereas a claim that something is probable requires a bit less, and a claim that something is possible requires less again. When we think about context, we're looking at whether the context of the claim has an effect on its acceptability. An initial claim made during a first inquiry into an event, for example, such as the claim, "I think this happened," would have a very different level of acceptability in a later hearing in a court of law, where a higher standard of proof might be required. Next, does the reason require expertise or research to decide its acceptability? Some arguments require specialist knowledge to assess them. Extent of acceptance is connected with how well known or widely accepted the reason is. Some reasons are generally true, and questioning them wouldn't make much sense unless the reason's given in a specialist context. The claim that the earth is round, given as a reason in an argument, for example, is uncontroversial in most contexts. Some reasons will be generally uncontroversial in most contexts, but they could still be controversial in a highly specialised context, for example. The question of fit goes to the issue of how well the reason fits with what we already know. This can be a good way of assessing the initial credibility of a reason, but bear in mind that just because something's unusual as a reason or a claim, or just because a reason challenges existing paradigms, is not necessarily a reason to reject it. If we return to the argument we looked at earlier when we were distinguishing between structure and argument, we can see how evaluation of reasons might look in relation to our overall evaluation of the argument. Again, pause the image to have a good look. So we've now covered aspect 1, which covers the truth or reliability of reasons. We'll move on to aspect 2,